All right, now we got the sample.
All right, so we got the sample. Now you want to clock this sample. So we want to use the tap tempo button.
Tap tempo button.
Right, and just strike the tap tempo button allows you to clock a tempo within the ballpark. Depending on how your own internal metronome is, you will get it right on the money. But most people, you'll get it really close, and then you can fine tune it with the data wheel. So we're going to listen to the sample and catch the quarter notes, all right, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, we only have to tap the tap tempo button twice, because if you go into your miscellaneous page, tap averaging is 2. I can make it 3, I can make it 4. 2 is fine, all right, so we'll have it at 2. And we'll strike the sample, then start tapping. Keep your finger on it. Don't take your finger off of it like you like to hit your sample.
Tell them one more time.
You want to keep your finger on the tap tempo button because the metronome is very, very sensitive on the 4000. So if you strike the samples with your finger coming off the pad, that's fine. But when you're doing the tap tempo, you want to keep your finger on it. Like that, all right? So our tap tempo, I came up to about 103.6. So let's play the sample now in the sequence to see how close it came to the actual tap tempo that I came up with. So it's a little rushed,
but almost on.
All right, so now I can just come here and slow it down.
So you want to slow,
you want it to be a seamless loop. You don't want it rushed. You don't want it to be too slow or too fast.
And we're making the tempo of the MP match the sample.
Exactly.
Now we could make the sample match.
Then we would have to tune the sample and change the tempo and the key of the sample, which I don't want to do.
It takes more time. It's more unfeasible.
It's just another option, another music production strategy. Depends on what you want to do.
Okay.
All right, so still slightly rushed. So that's close. Still a little rush. That's it right there. So that's about 98.5, 98.6. Now, a fail-safe way to determine if the sample is locked, because sometimes the drummer on the sample might be drifting. So he might be going a little ahead of the beat, a little behind the beat. That gives the rhythm a sense of pulsating feel, makes it feel like it's alive. So let's say we want to clock and make sure that this sample is dead on the money. Even though it might sound like it's looping right, it still might be off. A 96 beat, all right? So we'll come here and we'll pick a sound like a hi-hat, all right? And we'll use a note repeat button that complements whatever your quantize is. So this quantize is 116 with the swing at 55%.
Okay, quick preamble. Tell them about the note repeat button.
Okay, so the note repeat button allows you to put in like any type of musical idea that needs to repeat again and again and again. Prime example, like a hi-hat pattern needs to repeat again and again and again, like so. All right, so that's at 16. Let's say we want to do it at 8ths. All right, so we do it at 8ths. All right. Or, classic example, most of Dr. Dre's big banger tracks all have a note repeating value in them. That's called the rhythm. That subdivides the beat. It runs like a meter, like the 50 Cent in the club that had a mute guitar that was just running. That's a meter. That's something that you can put that note in using the note repeat button. All right. So let's go ahead and put that in there. So look, we're going to use the metronome to match up with the note repeat button of this hi-hat to see if it lines up with the sample. Okay. We're going to determine if the sample is right on the money.